African sandalwood is revered by local communities for its healing properties. The tree takes at least 4 decades to mature. On Kenya's borders, it forms part of the wild environment. On global markets, meanwhile, sandalwood oil, famous for its fragrance, commands luxury prices. Responsible commerce uses sandalwood from sustainable plantations. But in places like Samburu County, Kenya, criminal networks traffic vulnerable wild sandalwood to factories that ask no questions. Counties like Makueni and Kitui are also affected. The traffickers demolish and take every part of the tree, including the oil-rich roots. Kenya has, since 2005, acted to stop the traffic in wild sandalwood. Stern laws apply, but the trafficking networks still flourish. Beyond Kenya's borders, wild Kenyan sandalwood can be processed, then shipped back through Kenya as the product of another country. Often the networks are headed mostly by urban businesswomen.
A lady who owns a hotel in Maralal town approached me to help in her sandalwood business. This lady had contacts with another lady who owned sandalwood warehouses in Eldoret and Nakuru. She used to come to Maralal in her Prado. She would stay in the hotel and hand over the vehicle to me with the order of sandalwood required.
The broker's job includes bribing security officials and negotiating with chiefs.
I explained to the chief the tonnage of sandalwood required and paid him $100 in access fees.
The village elders and women consult over a wage for the women who do the harvesting, about $1 per kilogram of sandalwood. The community's warriors, meanwhile, receive about $2 a day to protect and load the harvest. Harvesting is supervised by a technician sent in by the network boss to assure the quality of the wood. Drivers take the wood to the port of Mombasa or the Ugandan border. Trafficking bosses often provide their drivers with high-end vehicles that pass more easily through police roadblocks. For the network boss, the profit for each delivery runs to tens of thousands of dollars. At ports and borders, sandalwood smugglers often bribe officials. Those who stand up to the traffickers face death threats.
To our surprise, the majority of the traffickers were women. They were discussing the contributions members needed to make to hire hitmen.
Meanwhile, at the bottom of the trafficking food chain, fractional payment trickles down for destruction of the ancestral resource.
Sandalwood has been critical to the survival of the Samburu people. It provides medicine for many diseases. In the next few years, our word for sandalwood will be gone. Our grandchildren will never be able to use this word due to the actions of our children today. This tree is sacred. We should not lose it.
We envisage a change in terms of policy, debate around how governments and communities can be able to be supported to manage their forest for their own benefit, for the benefit of future generations, as opposed to the exploitation that has existed, that has been there maybe for the last 20 years, where illegal individuals are then in accessing community resources, community forests, and harvesting them for their own gain. Because this eventually affects future generations and affects sustainability of livelihoods. If this research does one thing that for me would be key, is to be able to start that debate that why is it not possible then to have harmonized laws in East Africa that are in line with international standards that are already set so that we can be able to protect our environment.